Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to another 4chan Stories video, and today we're going to be getting into some terrifying stories from 4chan. You guys have been loving these videos, I've been loving recording them, so I'm going to keep making them. Comment down below if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, and thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate every single one of you, and please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Helps out a ton. The channel's goal is 500,000 subscribers, so please subscribe to the channel. And alright, without further ado, let's get into some terrifying stories from 4chan. Work at a gas station. Little shitty box version, like outside department stores, etc. The box I'm in is basically concrete, steel, rebar, and 3 inches of bulletproof glass. Company spent a lot on this tank-like box. Pretty much after a certain hour in the day, like 10ish, would lock all vending areas, coolers, etc., and just sell gas till morning shift came in. At that point, no reason to get out of the box. All is prepay, etc., etc. Q 12ish AM. Little old beater of car pulls up. Out gets old lady, Asian with that 70 plus short Asian tiny and furious look. Comes to window, surprisingly polite. She starts looking at closed coolers, locked carts, etc. Like she's browsing at shite she can't see or get to. Looks at me. Oh, the horror. Can't describe it well, but her face was... It was like she had all her skin replaced. I mean, the complexion, the meshing of it was all wrong. This bitch had mole spots on her hands, and her old lady dress showed me how wrinkly her old legs were. But her face, and worse, her smile. Ever seen those fuckers with those perfect / fake teeth that seem to have no excuse but to give you a big look at the fuck at me smile? That's this lady. So her face looks like someone copy and pasted it onto her. Her smile says, "Look at me, I'm harmless." That shit-eating smile. Walks up to window. Starts tapping on the glass. Ask her if she needs anything. Cue the fucking smile again. Says she needs to refuel. Ask her if she knows what to do. Replies with a dragged out, "Oh, yes." Raised eyebrow, but okay. Asks her for her prepay amount, pay type, etc. She looks at me. "I forgot my purse, I'll be right back." Watch her get to her car, bend down into it to get a purse or whatever the fuck. She bends down, partially out of view. Bends down further. Fucking gone. Can't see her. 5 minutes go by. No creepy face lady. Scraping at door. Soft rapping. Mind you, this door is the only way in and out of this box. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. Same as before. Brain goes on overdrive. What if something wants in like in the movies? What happens in scary movies? Big evil what if examines walls, weak spots, etc. Oh shit, fuck me. Brain is making it worse for me. Decide to call office. In store. They can see my station, etc. Let them clear my scared out head. Fucking jitters remembering this shite. Call office. "How about this weather?" Desk lady says, "What weather?" "Oh, you know, the wind, blowing shite around outside, etc. Anon, what weather? It's calm as can be outside. What about I fumble. "It's a beautiful night, Anon. Relax, no storms, lol." Her slight shifting / walking around sounds. Although, is everything okay out there, Anon? Why I stutter into the phone. The western side lights are completely out. I can't speak. Along with your back pole light. Pole light is the parking light that's in most parking lots, etc. Only one near me for about 40ish feet around me till customer parking starts. Anywho, at this moment I realized my folly. The phone in the little box was in back of box. Behind privacy niche for counting cash, etc. Look around niche. Where the fuck's the light? God. Only few lights on, so I can see in front of me at closed coolers, etc. And who the fuck's there? The little creepy Asian lady. Her face in that mismatched looking complexion. That fucking smile. Anon, I can't reach my purse, it fell. In my head. Bitch, it's been 10 minutes. Anon, she goes on. Can you come outside to get it for me? I mutter. I can't. As you can see, having electrical issues, etc. Bullshit excuse, I know, but I'm in full panic. Oh, please, Anon, she says. I'm so old and weak. That smile. Sorry, I can't leave. This is too big. Bullshit excuse about emergency, etc. Wrong thing to say. Smile fucking vanishes. Come outside, she says. Slight rasp in her words now. Can't, I stutter. This is where I cross over. This is where I fucking believe, like Scully and Mulder. This little old lady. This fucked up, faced little old lady, maybe 5'5" at best. She stares at me with all her fury, and she gets as close as she can to the window, and she slams her fist on it. Once. I mean fucking once. And grumbles something like, fuel, food. Hood poked together, and I shit you not, glass cracked. Not like hair cracked, I mean crack. As one of my days off before, some meth head took a shot at it with a .38. Glass was replaced, but I saw it. It was a good crack, embedded, etc. This, though, it was like this lady put a 12-gauge slug 2 inches away and fired. I fucking lost it. Pick up phone, call office. Say, emergency, emergency, emergency. Cops show up. Night manager comes running. I'm in the back, fucking pale and waiting. Hiding, really. Pound on door. It's manager Anon with PD. Open up. Q hours later. And Q fucked up shite. Lights are back to normal. Cameras apparently didn't catch anything. Said storm must have knocked him out or something. Yeah. Okay. Then look at glass. Go home, Anon. See you tomorrow. Manager covers shift. Go home with cross, Bible, and 1911. Q next day. The box looks like shit. Scratches everywhere. Door has paint stripped off from the strails. Chunks are missing from sides of box roof, like someone climbed it. Manager says there's actually a hole in the roof that is an inch from tiles, etc. Squeak a yay sarcastically. Manager asks what happened. Says that PD may want my statement if it's a suspicious act. Nope the fuck away from him. Say must have been weather, etc. Manager looks after me. Yeah, I think so too, Anon. Switched to different department after that. Everyone asked me for years after that story, wanted to hear how I was shot at. The worst thing is that I've heard that there was an employee who covered that shift after me. She stayed until last year, and since I left the company, I was out of touch. Visited recently. How's it going, etc. They say she went missing last year. That she opened her door on her shift and walked out the back door. The computer system went out, the cameras too. She's still missing. Fucked up thing is the guy working said the only lead they had was this fucked up beater of a car that was seen briefly driving away from bank camera across the street. Gentlemen, due to a story last night, I feel the need to break an order I was given and tell you about the Missouri Goatman. Now, I'm a chemical guy, and we all go to FT Lost in the Woods to do training. This happened during an FTX out in the woods, next to a ridge and a large stream bed. Every night there is a roaming guard of 2 privates, and we have our gay little blank adapters, and we just roam around making sure no one is having sex. This happens one night when me and a buddy of mine are posted up on a couple of stumps by one of the light systems they drag out there. About 0300, me and my pal are set up under the lamps, soaking in the warm exhaust because it's 25 degrees Fahrenheit outside, and fuck if we are going to be moving. We were watching the tents, joking how if anyone was going to do the nasty, it'd be difficult due to the cold, etc. Nudge buddy, tell him to catch a nap. He lolls off and it's snoozing. Snow slowly drifting down through the trees. Peaceful. Just kind of staring into the woods when I hear that crunch of snow. Extremely faint. Have to perk my ears up to make it out. Think to myself, there's no way some idiot's going to freeze his nuts to some girl's ass. Must be a drill sergeant. Nudge my buddy awake. Tell him there's a DS in the woods. He perks up. We are both watching the wood line. Sure enough, we see a shadow come in from the wood line, crouching low. Amazing he can be this quiet in the snow. We both grin. Last time this happened, they dragged someone out and tied them to a tree for shits and giggles. The shadow gets well within the camp line, crouching really, really low. Looking back, it was weird. A tent rustles and the shadow instantly stands up to full height. It was almost 7 feet tall and has goddamn horns on its fucking head. Buddy and I sucking our breath and our eyes are wide. This isn't a fucking drill sergeant. The whatever it was opens a tent flap real slow, peeks inside. At this time, my buddy has found the little radio we are given in case we need to contact the drill sergeants. Buddy is freaking out and trying to get him out of there, which causes them to freak out and come ghosting out of the fucking shadows. They startle us and my buddy yells. We all hear a loud grunt. All our heads turn to see this goat thing dragging a goddamn private. It has a female private. It has her leg. Holy shit, it's dragging her out of camp. Nothing really happens for what feels like hours, just this surreal fucking stare down. A female drill sergeant screams out a war cry and launches herself at a full sprint at it. Rest of the drill sergeants pull out their pistols and charge down to try and get the private. He hops up and runs down, scrambling to grab the chick and haul her away. The drill sergeants have taken off to chase whatever it was away from the camp. As we are dragging the chick away, the entire camp is up now and setting up a perimeter around the AHA and Chow tent, two areas that have constant light. Tense as fuck, everyone has their bayonets in their hands. Drill sergeants come back an hour later, looking worse for wear. Everyone loads up in the Humvees and we get the fuck out of there. Apparently, the drill sergeants had chased the damn thing over a creek, and which it took off into the underbrush. The female soldier was okay. Whatever it was had smothered her till she passed out. Higher command was weirded out but didn't seem fazed and has simply made the drill sergeants carry fully loaded M4s for the next rotations. Oh, big scary goat man? Nah, don't worry about it. Here's bigger guns. Yay Army. And there are tons of these stories of people just tearing ass out of the woods in full kit blubbering and get discharged due to mental instability. I myself only have one other story, and this is from a friend of mine who went to MP training here. Friend is on the last FTX in the dead of winter. He is set up with 3 other people in a tower overlooking a huge expanse of woods. Scheduled OPFOR attack happens. Everyone's having fun shooting blanks. Yay. Suddenly, a couple of dudes come barreling out of the woods carrying a guy who has a fucking tree branch lodged in his thigh. Everything stops. Everyone leaps into action and drags him onto the FOB. He is screaming and crying about the deer man. Drill sergeants instantly scramble for their M4s and get on a loudspeaker, demanding every private into their little hutches. Drill sergeants break a major rule and hand out live ammo to everyone. Everyone tense as fuck. That one dude is screaming, "The deer man. He's out there. Jesus Christ, protect me. The deer man." And keep screaming this until the medics arrive. This happened when I was in college. I lived in Isla Vista, the student community at UCSB, notorious for being a party school. It fully lived up to its reputation. I like to party, but holy shit, these people were off the wall. As such, there were a lot of people who put themselves in dangerous situations, drinking in excess, not being careful, not locking doors, etc. It had a very isolated and insular vibe, and anyone who was hanging around who wasn't college age immediately looked out of place and strange. One night, after having a few drinks, I came home to my small house where I lived with 2 other girls, probably around 2:30 a.m. We were all serious students. I was probably the least serious actually, and when we partied, it was not your typical UCSB mega rager, more like a small get together with friends. We would often have a few people spend the night, sleep on our furniture, or in our beds as the case may be. That night, my roommates had a few people over who I didn't know, and I saw when I returned that one of them had opted to sleep on the couch from the shadow that I saw there. I didn't turn the light on, so I wouldn't wake anyone up, but as I was passing the couch to enter my bedroom, I noticed that the figure was lying very stiff. He just had this weird energy to him. He was lying down, but it was like he was pulling all of his energy into lying as still and rigid as possible. I paused, and the guy quickly jerked his head to face me. Without moving his limbs so quickly that it startled me, I could see his wide open eyes glinting in the dark. Figuring that I'd startled him, or that he was drunk or maybe on some kind of stimulant and unable to sleep, I just hurried past into my bedroom and locked the door. The dude made me nervous and I wasn't taking any chances. I fell asleep. At 4:30 a.m. I woke up. There was a strange sound at the door, almost like somebody was drumming their fingers against the wood very quietly. I lay still and listened. There were more quiet sounds like someone scratching the door with their fingers, which got louder and louder until it was clear that he was using both hands and scratching as fast and hard as possible. It created an extremely loud and intimidating sound that filled me with fear. I got my cell phone and texted my roommate because I was afraid to make a sound. "Your friend is freaking me out. Is he coked out? Can you talk to him?" He's banging and scratching on my door." She didn't text me back, probably because she was asleep. I texted my other roommate to the same effect, covering all my bases. Keep in mind that the scratching has been going on at this point for a couple of minutes. I have no idea how he could have sustained it. Scratching a wooden door with your fingernails can't feel good. He also grabbed at the knob and jiggled it super forcefully. Because neither of them answered, I decided to call and really wake them up, though I was scared to make a sound. I know it sounds stupid, but there was something seriously horrifying about being teased like this through the door. I knew that he was trying to terrify me. I felt like a little kid, but I could tell this guy was fucked up or something, and maybe the police needed to be called, and I wanted to loop my roommates in since it was one of their friends. The scratching stopped abruptly, and I called my roommate, who answered sleepily. "Yo, your friend is messed up. Can you please deal with it? Do you need to call the cops? He's seriously scaring me, and he's scratching at my bedroom door. Really fucking weird." She didn't say anything for several seconds, and when she did speak, her voice had no sleepiness in it at all. "What friend?" she said. "That fucking guy that was sleeping on the couch," I said. She was quiet again. "We didn't have any guys over," she said. "Call the police." My adrenaline surged and I told her to please lock the bedroom door as quickly as possible. I realized that I hadn't heard scratching in a while and I had no clue where this dude had gone. Suddenly, I heard a loud banging in the other end of the house where my roommate was. Lauren and Monica shared a bedroom. The bangs were followed by the sound of them screaming in fear. I quickly dialed the police as this maniac proceeded to bang against the luckily locked bedroom door of my two roommates as they screamed. The heaviness of the blows left no doubt that he was trying to break the door down. I told the 911 operator the situation, and she dispatched 2 squad cars. The police in Isla Vista are generally used to peeling drunks off the sidewalk and breaking up brawling frat bros. This was really serious and strange, and I think the dispatcher got the sense from my tone how terrified I was, and she stayed on the phone with me. At one point, the banging stopped and everything was quiet for a while. I talked with the dispatcher and suddenly looked down to see that this guy had slipped his fingers through the 1-inch gap between the door and the floor and was just kind of wriggling them around, making this weird growling sound. I screamed and backed away, which is my biggest regret about this situation, since when I look back, it would have been so awesome to just stomp the shit out of those fingers and hear the guy howl in pain. When the cops rolled up, I heard running and the sound of our sliding glass door opening and closing, and then he was gone. The cops never caught him. He had broken in through our side door by jimmying the lock somehow. My door was covered in what turned out to be huge gauges he'd made using a pair of scissors, which he discarded on the ground before he left. What terrifies me most about this is that I walked right past him. I looked him right in the face. I realize now that he was not trying to sleep or on drugs, but he was lying stiff like that because he was hiding. He probably heard me open the door and freaked out because he hadn't realized there was another girl living there and tried to blend into the couch in the darkness. Hello, everyone. I decided to just tell this story now since I know I'll forget to write it down. This is from when I used to live with my friend at a house we rented for about 2 years. Moved in around July. House always felt weird even when we just moved in. We chalk it up to just getting situated to a new place and shrug it off. Over the next couple of months, things kind of felt off. Like looking at a crooked picture on the wall, kind of off. Then stuff starts moving. I do not mean moving as if you see it move, more like it gets misplaced somewhere it has no business being in. Remote control ends up in the bathtub, socks end up on the kitchen table. Naturally, we both end up thinking that's the other person just fucking around. We both try to ignore it, but it only becomes more frequent. Was at one point only happening once a month, maybe twice. Now it's every 2 weeks, then every week. We never once think it may be something paranormal, mainly since friend isn't very big on the idea of ghosts or spirits. We continue to ignore it for some reason. I think at a certain point we just got used to the things going missing and didn't even tell each other it was happening. Still think it has to be one of us doing it, but no one wants to fess up. We continue this non-existent game of chicken and go about our days. Fast forward to December. Comfy weather. Friend needs to go out of town for a week to visit folks during winter break. Fuck yeah, I get the house to myself. Start relaxing and suddenly get a weird shiver That kind of shiver you get when something touches your back. Makes me get out of the chair and wonder if it's just my shirt giving me a weird sensation. Decide to just forget it and make some food. Go to the kitchen and find my spare wallet on the table. Lost that thing over a week ago. Go to grab it, and as I do, something in the corner of my eye bolts. Too fast to get a glimpse, but I know there was something. Roach? No. Too big to be a roach. Rat? Same thing, way too big to be a rat. I go into the living room to see if whatever it was still there. Nothing. Strange, but maybe it was just me seeing something that wasn't there. Go back to make food, and my day goes by normally. Next day, I come home from work and notice that the TV remote has now been put on one of the ceiling fan blades. Okay, something freaky is definitely going on here. Try and pretend like I'm ignoring it, but keeping a very close eye the entire time. Don't notice anything for the rest of the day and say fuck it. Next day, 3 things went missing. My keys, my wallet, and my security badge. I start panicking a little bit since I had work that day. Looking everywhere, high and low. Fuck, where are they? Suddenly, I get a weird idea, but decide it's better than no idea. Hey, whoever is doing that, can you not play this game? I could get in some serious trouble here. I walk into the living room and see the 3 items neatly placed on the couch. Holy shit. I grab my stuff and say, thank you. A gentle coolness then came over the room, taking me by surprise since this was winter and the heater never went off. Take that as, you're welcome from whatever decided to play these pranks on me. As I begin to leave the house, I notice again something from the corner of my eye, but this time I see its head peeking ever so slightly from the corner of the hall. I made eye contact with this spirit, but I didn't say anything. Something about it felt calm. Not a bad spirit by any means. Hey, I'll see you later. As I left the house, it dawned on me that I don't know why I said goodbye to the ghost, but it felt natural, like I'd done it hundreds of times. While at work, I get a call from my friend. We can just call him Tyler since it's easier to type out than just friend. Tyler tells me he had to come home early since his mom and dad had accidentally booked a trip to Europe during the week he came to visit. Tyler says he's at the house and will see me there. Before I hang up, I hear Tyler say, "Hey, Anon, what's up? Why did you leave those shoes in the bathtub?" "Shoes in the bathtub?" "Yeah, I found your running shoes in the tub." "I didn't put them, Tyler." "Yeah, sure you didn't. I'll talk to you later, bud." After we hung up, I went about my workday as usual. Around my final break at work, I get another call from Tyler. "Okay, dude. What the fuck?" "What? You went into my closet?" "What? My fucking shirts are all over the fucking floor, dude." "Tyler, I can't get in your room. You locked it with your own key, dumbass." "And how the fuck are all my clothes on the goddamn floor, dude?" "Ask the kid that's there with you." "What fucking kid? Don't try and blame this on a bullshit ghost, you asshole." He hangs up in anger, and I just kind of laugh it off. As I'm leaving work, I get another call. Weird, but maybe he just wanted me to pick up some food or some shit. "What's up, Tyler?" "Dude, what the fuck was that thing?" "What thing?" "That fucking white thing. It was fucking staring at me, dude. What the fuck?" "White thing? You mean the kid, right?" "I don't know what the fuck it was, dude. It stared at me and I just fucking bolted." "Did he do anything to you?" "He? That looked like a little girl, dude." "What? The one I saw was like a boy, man." "You're telling me there's 2 of these fucking things?" I kind of sit in my car for a bit, taken back. I tell Tyler to just sit tight and I'll see what we can do when I'm home. Get home and Tyler's in his room with the door locked. "Yo, dude, it's me." "How do I know?" "I heard those things can mimic voices." "I don't think ghosts can do that, Tyler." He finally stops being a pussy and opens the door. Start talking to him about what happened. Said the ghost kind of popped out of nowhere. I was just relaxing, playing some games, and I just saw this fucking thing poke its head out from the corner of the room. Said he noticed it, but kind of just thought it was his eye playing a trick on him until he sneezed and turned his head into the direction of the spirit and saw it with his full vision and just bolted from to his room. Telling I've been seeing the same thing, only the one I saw looked more like a boy, with shorter hair, kind of like a military-style buzz cut. Tyler told me that the one he saw had a very distinct female hairstyle, almost like something out of the 90s. Tyler then tells me that it didn't even look like a kid. It looked more like a teenager. Hold the fuck up, a teenager? The one I saw was a kid, a little kid. Tyler's eyes almost bugged out of his skull. "Anon, you best not be fucking with me, man, or I'll kick your ass." "Dude, I'm serious. The one I saw was a little boy." Tyler starts almost freaking out. How the fuck are there two of these fucking things? I kind of shrug and tell him to calm down. Look, just trust me when I say they may seem scary, but they're harmless. They haven't done anything to me, nor you, besides play a few petty pranks, so let's not worry too much, okay? Tyler finally relaxes and jokingly says we should call an exorcist. I tell him to just relax and we can talk more about it tomorrow. Night rolls in and we are all in bed. In bed, I then hear Tyler scream, "Fuck!" Thinking some robber came in and tried to kill Tyler, I jump out of bed and run into his room. Tyler is now outside his door with it shut, panting and sweating bullets. What happened, dude? It fucking talked to me. It fucking spoke. I tell Tyler once again to calm down and tell me what happened. He goes on to tell me he woke up for some reason and decided to go on his phone. He was playing some crappy mobile game when from his left ear he heard, "Gotcha." And he just lost his shit. Ran out of his room and just decided to shut down almost. I actually found myself questioning this. It spoke to you? Yeah, it said "gotcha," and that was it, but I know it was that. I know it said that. I then ask, was it a girl or the boy? Tells me he can't tell the voice. Could have been a teenager girl or a small boy. He couldn't tell. I tell him he can sleep in my room tonight if he's that scared. It was obvious that he was really shaken up by this stuff, even though he was never really someone who believed in it. Out of sheer curiosity, I decided to stay up until like 2 or 3 in the morning and go to the living room. Once there, I basically tried to talk to whatever this thing was. I don't believe myself to be some sort of spirit talker or medium, but it was worth a shot. "Hey, you there?" Silence. "Look, as funny as it is to spook the crap out of my friend, he doesn't really like it all that much. Can you maybe tone it down?" Silence again. Start thinking to myself I probably look like an idiot talking out loud like this. Suddenly, I hear a faint, "Sorry." I get startled and turn, and right there, I could see this small kid. Buzzcut, couldn't be more than 7. Holy shit, I thought to myself. I looked at this kid for what seemed like hours until I finally said, "Hello?" Kid kind of stared at me for a while and said, "Hi." "What is your name?" For some reason, I began talking to this kid like he didn't know English. Maybe it was just me trying to be cautious. Kid looked at me weird, like he didn't know what I just said. "Your name. What are you called?" Kid looks at me and thinks, "Tom." I feel this sense of calmness from this kid and feel like I can just freely talk to him. "Say, Tom, why are you moving stuff around? It's gotten Tyler a little mad, right?" Tom's face went from neutral to a bit sad. "I'm sorry, but it's been a long time since someone played with us." "Us?" "Yeah, me and my sister, Chelsea." In my mind, I think this may be the teenager girl Tyler saw. "Do you know where your sister is right now?" Tom looks at me with a look of, I don't know. "So, Tom, where are your folks? Are they around?" Tom looked at me again, with a slight face of sadness. "No, they left a long time ago." "Where did they go?" "I don't know, they just left." "Do you remember how long ago that was?" Tom shakes his head. "I know it was a long time ago." "So you and your sister have just stayed here all this time?" Tom nods and looks even sadder. "I miss my mom and dad." At this point, I kind of forget I'm talking to someone who may or may not actually be there and kneel down to talk to him. "Well, hey, I'm sure you'll see them again someday." Tom looks at me and begins to talk about the day his parents left. One day they just packed their bags and bolted. Didn't say goodbye to the kids. Didn't even tell the kids where they were going. They just left and never came back. It was just him and his sister for a long, long time, he said. His sister was always working, and once in a while, they'd get money from their grandparents. Tom said he nor his sister even told his grandparents that his parents left. Said his sister told him they'd take him away if they did. Who they were, he didn't know. He just told me that his sister always made sure he ate. He told me that he saw his sister get skinnier every day, but he knew he was being taken care of. I asked him, "What happened to your sister, Tom?" Said one day she went to her room and told him to wait outside until she came out. Sorry to break the green text here. Just remembering this still kind of hits me, so I'm kind of just looking at the screen trying to calm it down before I keep typing. Said she took a really long time to come out. He can't tell how long she was in there, but he played a lot of games and ate all the candy. But after a while, he wondered where his sister was. He tried to go into her room a lot, but it was always locked. He said eventually the food just kind of finished and he waited in front of her room, but she never came out. Told me one day he fell asleep and when he woke up his sister was sitting next to him. He says that after that they just kept playing around. Says his sister told him they didn't need money for work or anything, they could just play. Tells me that after that he and his sister just waited for people to come visit and play with them. They never stayed for very long. They always were angry or scared at them. Called them a lot of names. Sometimes he would cry, but his sister was always there. I don't know when it dawned on me, but I slowly realized he didn't know he was dead. As I'm thinking this, I see the room to my door open. Tyler woke up and is walking to the living room. Hey, what are you doing up, Anon? He sees Tom sitting there. Tyler either looks like he's gonna pass out or scream. I somehow get Tyler to calm down and come sit next to me in front of Tom. Tyler, this is Tom. He's been playing with you, along with his sister for these past few months. Tyler looks at me with this look of, what the fuck are you doing? I whisper to him that he's not a bad spirit, nor is he gonna hurt you. He's just a kid, well, was a kid, and he doesn't know that he's dead. Tyler begins to look at the kid and slowly calms down more, to the point where he's able to just sit with me. Tyler begins to say hi to Tom and talk to him. Tom smiles at us. Are you two my friends now? Sure, Tyler told the kid. We can be friends. Tom seems elated and stands up. He begins to try and find his sister and just vanishes. We don't see Tom for about 3 or more weeks. We kind of assume it was either a terrible hallucination from no sleep or he just left. Fast forward to the week after Christmas, so right before New Year's. Up till now, no more spooky stuff has happened. Things seem normal. I don't even feel that weird presence anymore. The night before New Year's Eve, Tyler and I are just eating dinner as usual. All of a sudden, a familiar sight peeks from the hall. It's Tom. It took me and Tyler by surprise. Oh, hey, buddy. Where have you been? I finish that sentence as I notice he has his hands on something. He brings in this girl. Had to be somewhere between 17 and 19. Very skinny, but also looked like she was ripped out of the 90s. This is my sister. Looking at her face, I notice that she almost looks sickly, like she hasn't eaten in centuries. Chelsea, this is Anon, and Tyler, my friends. His sister looks at us, almost with a knowing look. A look that said, I know we aren't supposed to be here. Sorry if this is longer than my normal stories, but a lot happened here and I need to make sure I get everything in as it happened. As we all sit, looking at this boy and his sickly sister, I had a sudden urge to tell Tom what was happening. Like divine intervention told me to do it, or I'd feel guilty forever. Hey, Tom? Do you ever wonder why you aren't getting any bigger? Tom looks at me and asks what I mean. You know, why you never grew up like your big sister, or me, or Tyler? Tom looks for a second and thinks. No? You ever wonder why it seems like you and your sister have been here for, a while? No, I don't. Tom, you and your sister, you're not exactly like me anymore. Like you? Look at me, Tom. Feel my arm. Tom then touched my arm, and it was freezing cold, as in an ice cube touched me. Tom looked at me and said, Are you sick, Anon? You're really warm. As he says this, it just makes me feel worse for wanting to tell him. Then, there is almost a weird conflict in me. This is for the best, isn't it? This is what he needs to hear, right? He needs to be free to be at peace, right? Why is this so hard? It's like telling a kid there isn't a Santa. No big deal, right? Then why is it so fucking hard? Why can't I just say it? For the first time, Chelsea actually says something to us. I know. Kinda startled, I look at her. What? I know what we are. I know we aren't supposed to be here, I know. Then why are you still here? You should have moved on from now, right? Chelsea then begins to shake her head and, as much as a ghost can, cry. It's for Tom. I can't leave for Tom. I don't know what happens after this. What about Tom? I can't let him down again. She says this and begins hugging him. What if we're torn apart? What if I never see him again? What if it's all over after this? As she's saying this, the room just fills with a sense of dread, but mostly sorrow. She wasn't scared for herself. She was scared for Tom. She didn't want to leave him again. She always regretted leaving him. She can't do it again. Even if it takes millions of years, this all just felt worse and worse to me, like it was hitting me in the soul directly. Finally, I tried to interject, but Tyler, who had been almost mute to this point, spoke up before I did. It wouldn't be fair to him to keep him here forever, you know? You made a mistake, yes, but now we're in this strange situation. But now you have a chance to help him, to let him go. Chelsea looks at Tom one more time and back at us. Okay. Tom, we have to go now. Go where? Somewhere a little far, but you'll be okay, right? I'm a big boy. I gotta protect my sister, right? I didn't even know what to say. I kind of felt like this whole thing was a movie. Some surreal soap opera playing in real time. What do you say to this? Finally, after a while, Tom just turned to us and told us that they had to get going, that they'll see us some other time. Tyler and I sat there with Tom and Chelsea slowly walking into the hallway. After a few minutes, we didn't hear a single sound. The air had calmed down once again, and the house, for the first time in what seemed like an eternity, was silent as anything could ever be. Fast forward a few months later, my friend and I are getting ready to go to school and work respectively. As I put on a pair of shoes I hadn't worn in a while, I noticed something fall out of them. A little keychain I lost a long time ago. A small cat on a laser pointer. Belonged to the cat I had at my parents' home before I left. Always kept it for some reason. As I look at the small keychain, I can't help but feel a tear form in my eye. It's been so long since that week that it almost became a forgotten memory. To this day, nothing else ever happened in that house. Stayed silent, almost somber, and it fits silence at times. Even after Tyler and I moved into a different place with another friend of ours, I still think about those days. The house never felt the same without him there. To this day, Tyler and I still mention those days. We still talk about those days, but never in a somber nor chilling way. Just as if we were talking about old pleasant memories, like good times gone by. Even now as I write this, I find myself missing Tom. The short time we spoke, the short time we interacted, he was a nice kid. I find myself thinking sometimes what he would have been if he had the chance to grow up like I did. Hey Tom, doubt you can read this, but I hope you're okay. And make sure to always take care of your sister. We miss you, bud. Thank you. Storytime X. This shit is all true. Be 20, in college in Colorado. Live near foothills, lots of cool wooded areas to drive to that aren't too far from campus. Have friend, Simon, who is pretty into drugs. Occasionally, he'd ask me to do shrooms with him. One time he asked me, tell him I don't feel like doing them, but I'll babysit him and just smoke weed or whatever. He says that's cool. Get a group together one Saturday and drive up to the Flatirons packing a bag of shrooms and a shit ton of weed. 5 of us in total. Me, my friend Ian, and a girl I was into at the time, Sarah, and I are babysitting. Simon and our friend Keegan are the ones doing the shrooms. Park car in one of those hiking area parking lots. No other cars. Seems pretty deserted, middle of the day. At first we thought that was good, but then Ian checked the weather forecast and it said there's a chance of rain. Our dumbasses didn't check the weather before doing this. Too late now. We'll continue if there's interest. It's still pretty nice out at this point. Only like 2 p.m., so we head up into the hiking trail and go until we find a nice open area. We were literally like 5 minutes from the car. Figure we don't have to go far considering it doesn't look like anybody will hiking here anyway, and we're at a pretty remote place. The babysitter starts smoking out of the pipe, and the other 2 discuss how they are going to eat the shrooms. Literally, right as Keegan pops his shrooms, Simon remembers he left his phone in the car. Keegan was a first timer, so he was kind of paranoid and just wanted to stay where he was. I offer to go with Simon to the car. He just says it's cool, just chilling, he'll be right back. We all don't really think much of it because we're not too far from the car. Me, Ian, and Sarah are smoking, and Keegan is just chilling, waiting for the shrooms to hit him, laughing it up. 10 minutes later, Simon still hasn't come back. After about 20 minutes, we realize he should be back by now. Sarah considers going and looking for him. He probably just had to take a dump or something. We keep smoking, start to worry a little. I'm about to go to the car and find him. 30 minutes after he left, we finally see him come up the trail, walking super slowly like he was being really careful where he stepped or something. Doesn't say anything as he approaches. We kinda interrogate him. He says he just got out his phone, nothing else. We can't get more than 10 words out of the guy, and he's usually the most talkative motherfucker I've ever known. Like, literally everything was a one-word response or a shrug, and he doesn't smile at all. Kinda just go, fuck it, because Keegan is starting to feel his trip, so we turn our attention to him. Simon no longer seems to have any interest in the shrooms. Keegan is acting hilarious, describes shit he sees to us, laughs at everything, fascinated by tree bark and shit. We're all laughing like idiots at him. All but Simon. I don't really bother asking him if he's gonna take half the bag of shrooms. I just kinda figure he started feeling sick or something. It's been about an hour and a half now, and the overcast is getting heavier. Probably gonna get rain soon. Me and Ian are discussing where we could go inside with a tripping Keegan when Sarah just screams really loud and points at a tree a little ways away from us. What the fuck, why are you screaming? She says she saw some huge furry animal go behind a tree. None of us believe her since we didn't hear or see shit. She says it moved totally silently, but she swears she saw it. Ian and I are kind of calling bullshit, but all of a sudden Simon says we should go check it out. You fucking serious? We all really want to leave now because of the coming rain, but Simon keeps insisting we go look at whatever the fuck Sarah saw. We kind of argued about this for what seemed like an absurdly long time. He kept saying we should go look, but not giving a good reason why. We said it was probably a bear or something that could maul us, and he would just say it won't hurt us. I remember very specifically him saying it wouldn't hurt us. He seemed so confident about that, like he already knew what animal it was or something. Keegan is pretty much not moving from his little spot, and we can't just leave him there. I'm pretty high at this point too, and really don't want to move either. Ian is finally like, alright dude, if I go over there and check it out with you, can we just go? Simon agrees, and the two of them go out and kind of leave our view in our little clearing as they go towards the tree Sarah pointed out. We lose sight of them. Keegan is seriously noping out, like on the verge of tears and tripping really bad. Sarah trying to calm him down. My phone rings, which startles the fuck out of all of us, and I pull it out. It's Simon's phone calling me. What the fuck? Answer it and hear his voicemail message immediately. You know, like the message that would play if I'd called him and he hadn't answered? I swear on my life that I didn't pocket dial him or anything. It was an incoming call, and my ringtone was going off and everything, but his voicemail message played. Seriously, what the fuck out now? Hang up and start calling Simon and Ian's names. They don't answer. Feel raindrops coming down. Trees aren't giving that much cover. Suddenly hear a weird moaning sound coming from the direction that they walk towards and not too far away from us. Kind of like a dog whimpering at first, but then it got louder and louder until it was a full-on wail. It sounded like something laughing, like a cackling noise. Kind of like k, but in no particular cadence. Okay, time to leave. Sarah and I have to lift Keegan up. He's pretty much in hysterics now. Start running towards car. I try calling Ian as we run. His phone is off or dead. We get to the car. Keegan gets in back seat, seriously tripping out. Sarah's trying to calm him down. I'm outside the car looking for any sign of the other two. See them only about 2 minutes later coming down the trail, except they're both doing that super slow walk now, and both seem way too calm. When they finally get to us, I ask them what the fuck happened and ask if they heard that noise. Both of them say they didn't hear anything. Both of them say they didn't find any animal. Both of them deny calling me or receiving a call from me. They answer every question with one or two fucking words, and they don't seem to be fazed by the fact that the other three of us are freaked the fuck out. It started to really rain, and we're out in the open, so I just really want to go home, so we all get in the car. Ian and Simon sit next to each other in the back and barely talk on the ride back. Pretty silent overall. Keegan is like huddled up, still tripping. I take us back to campus and tell everyone I'll just take them home and watch Keegan by myself for a while until he calms down, which would be hours from now. Simon and Ian both want to stay with us. They don't say fucking shit besides that they don't want to be taken home. They want to stay with us longer. I tell them I just want to go home at this point, coming down from my high. Sarah agrees. In the end, I agreed to drop both of them off at Ian's apartment. Thought it was weird that Ian didn't want to go home. He and Simon were never that great of friends. Had never been there before, need directions. Ian is being super fucking unhelpful, like he doesn't know where he's going to his own apartment. I end up having to use my smartphone to navigate where I am. Notice that neither Ian or Simon take out their smartphones the whole time. Finally, find the place, and they all get out without saying shit. Don't even thank me or anything. Sarah and I just kind of have a huge freak out after they're all gone and discuss how surreal the whole thing was. Discuss how Ian and Simon weren't acting like themselves at all and make sure that the noise we heard wasn't just our imaginations. We both heard the exact same thing. Both describe it as a cackling, didn't sound human at all. Here's the kicker. Later, after I dropped Sarah off, find Simon's phone in the front seat. On the way there, he was in the front. On the way back, he was in the back seat. In other words, he never got his phone from the car when he went back for it. Check phone call record. Outgoing call to me. I still have Simon's phone, and he still hasn't made any attempt to contact me to get it back. This all happened a couple weekends ago. I figured maybe he was busy with finals and stuff, but now finals are over, and he still hasn't said a word to me. I'm kind of scared to give it back to him. I am friends with his roommate who tells me that Simon is barely ever home anymore. He's always at Ian's apartment. Like, he'll just leave and sometimes won't come back until the next day, and then for only a few hours. When asked, he just says he's hanging out at Ian's. I'm really freaked out. What the hell happened to my friends? Maybe try calling Ian from Simon's phone and check up on what they're doing? Okay, so I tried this and something weird happened. I called Ian's phone from Simon's phone and I got Simon's voicemail message. When I called Ian's phone from my phone, I don't get anything. It just goes straight to voicemail. That's a little strange. Either way, neither of them are picking up. And alright guys, that wraps up some terrifying stories from 4chan, and that last one kind of ended up on a cliffhanger, to be honest, but that was interesting. I enjoyed that last one. That was, spooky. I really wonder what was going on with all of them. They all were on drugs, so maybe that explains it. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. And also go check out some other videos on this channel. Like, all my videos are similar to this, so if you enjoyed this one, you'll definitely enjoy some more. So might as well subscribe. You're the best for watching to the end. If you made it to the end, comment Snook is awesome, or Snook Society, or comment whatever you want. Just, comment how you felt, any feedback. Everything's welcome. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for watching. And this is Snook, and I'll see you next time. Bye.